Thank you, Commissioners. I was saying, aside from attending the 15 April 2025, I deny any assistance of Mr. Matala for the payment of his invoices for the Medicare tender. The message exchanges between Mr. Matala and myself, dated 15 January, is not proof of the aforesaid, as alleged by witness X in her statement. As previously stated, I was privy to Mr. Matala's struggles with payments and purchase orders. This is merely another occasion where Mr. Matala was opening up to me regarding his struggles. This is normal between friends, and it took place again in our WhatsApp exchanges of 13 May 2025. Regarding the message of the 14 April 2025, which reads, "Oh, Nduna, please don't forget to ask our brother about the lady who's stirring problems." Here, I also utilize this name, this word, assume, that I don't want to, but I assume that it may have been concerning the Medicare 24 tender, and his issues are with Lieutenant General Nkua. I unfortunately do not have the best recollection regarding his message. I reiterate, however, that I have never assisted Mr. Matala in the payment of his invoices or have ever shown questionable concerns over his tender or payments. Concerning the 5 March WhatsApp message exchange, I was merely checking in on a friend. I will admit that the News 24 article concerned me, as allegations were disturbing. I discussed the allegations with Mr. Matala telephonically and grew wary of his innocence. Definitely, this thing played a part in me culminating the decision to start to move away.
Wary or weary?
I don't know the pronunciation, Commissioner. I said wary, but I don't know, is it weary?
Perhaps let me ask what you intended.
Disturbing.
Okay.
Some sort of disturbing. It didn't sit well.
Okay. All right, thank you, General. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner. So, this definitely played a part in my culminating decision to start to refrain, moving away from Mr. Matala gradually. You don't just cut relationship abruptly. So I decided to not and interact with him as previously we did.
Major General. You say this definitely played a part in my culminating decision to cut all contact with him.
I must say, since he was arrested, I cut. I've never even visited him to prison. I've never even tried to access him through a third-party person or whatever. I just cut.
After his arrest?
When he was, I saw it on the news, he's arrested, and then I just cut.
Right.
Then,
but up until that point, you continued to have contact with him?
Look, up until that point, he will call me, I will call him, but my way of talking to him was very wary since I saw this article, because I asked him about it.
Since 5 March?
Yeah, I started to become worried about his conduct.
So your contact with him, you cut contact with him because he was arrested.
Look, it did.
But let me finish my question. But you continued to have contact with him until the date he was arrested, but you say your contact was now with caution.
Maybe, it was cautionary, 100%. So it was cautionary, but after his arrest, I cut.
Okay. And you say you discussed the allegations with Mr. Matala. When did you discuss those allegations with him?
I will have to refresh my mind on after I've sent this. Immediately after I sent him this thing, we were on calls. I was telling him, you know, this thing, why are you doing this? Whereas this company is yours. What is the problem now? Why is there changes all of a sudden of these things? You know, those type of questions you ask a brother. And then you started to become worried. I told him, I started to become worried that this thing, why are you changing? I think this thing is the changing of a directorship of his company. That is the thing that started to worry. If you have a contract with such a big contract and then you decide to change the directorship, what is the cause of that?
And it was because of that.
That is where I became cautionary and started to say, hey, Mo, here, I need to start to reverse.
Okay,
Yeah.
I get that. And just again to confirm, because you do say it, but just to confirm, it was that media article that made you concerned.
It made me very much concerned, yes.
Right. Thank you.
And you also say, General, you grew wary of his innocence. Do you mean his claims that he was innocent? Or what do you mean by that?
Come again, Commissioner?
You say you grew wary of his innocence. What do you mean by that?
I was worried about him changing the directorship. Why? Why do you change the directorship if
My focus is on innocence. What do you mean by that part of the statement? Do you see this is 72, 1, 2, 3, fourth line. You grew wary of his innocence. Do
in
you
your
mean,
statement,
do you mean
paragraphs.
innocence
Yes.
or his claims of innocence? What do you mean exactly?
Commissioners, because that article talks about fraud,
Yes.
fraudulently obtained tender. That's what prompted me to grow wary of his, is an article. Then it disturbed me and disturbed
My focus is just on the language. I want you to please explain the language. What do you mean by what you say there? It's not a complex.
It disturbed
question.
me, Commissioner,
Yes.
regarding that he got the tender straight, but why this changing of the directorship?
Okay, I'll leave it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. As I indicated, I discussed these allegations with Mr. Matala telephonically, and of course the word that is giving us some little bit of a challenge, wary of his innocence. This definitely played a part in culminating my decision. I want to go now to question 6, Commissioners.
Go ahead.
Question 6, message on the 6th of March 2025 regarding General Mkhwanazi. Mr. Madlala and myself frequently converse about current affairs. This message is nothing more than two friends sharing news clips, articles about matters in the media. Like we were sharing that other one, and now here it is evidence that on the 29th of April, there was a message that he also sent to me that was on the news, according to him, and then he forwarded me the message and everything. And then fortunately, I did my response. I can't recall, maybe if I'm allowed to check, if when I sent him this thing, he did respond or what, but I don't remember him responding or us having a call. Sometimes you will send a message to a person and then he doesn't read or respond,
What
of
was
which
it?
I'm also doing that.
What was it about, General?
This is a clip is where the General Mkhwanazi, after he presented in Parliament, and then he addressed the media, ENCA, he addressed the media there that he didn't apply for the Hawks head because it's not going to benefit him. The type of a media briefing clip statement is just a picture of him and this narrative there, of which we just share things. Because a lot of people, I must say, admired General Mkhwanazi and myself when things were happening. The country was saying, hey, KZN is doing the right thing while we were fighting stubborn crimes in the province together, partnering together, applying the integrated approach. And people were saying, hey, you and him, General Mkwanazi, are working very close and nicely. They had their own wishes, people. So sometimes you will share certain things with people to say, ish, I so wish, but unfortunately, some of the wishes doesn't come true.
Thank you. You may continue, General.
Thank you, Commissioners. And next question is forward of Ismail Molot Ramos Nangi's affidavit. Yes, indeed, I agree. I did forward this one to Mr. Matlala. The main reason is that, let me first start by saying, has been leaked to the media. This article was leaked in the media on the 10th of March 2025, and I did send it on the same day. And when I forward same to Mr. Matlala, I also have attached there a News 24 article evidencing the aforesaid, Annexure S5. I therefore deny allegations that I may have leaked sensitive and or confidential and or classified information to Mr. Matlala. I merely sent it to Mr. Matlala to warn him, as this gentleman, Mr. Nangi, we as the province, my office, have arrested and charged him for kidnapping, attempted murder and extortion of a businessman where a ransom of 35 million was demanded. So to elaborate further on this one, the only thing here, I believe I was complying with the sort of proactive policing, because when you look at the statement of Mr. Nangi, the address, it shows midstream Centurion. And I am aware that Mr. Matlala is staying in midstream Centurion. Here I was saying to the brother, be careful, because there is a person of this character in your vicinity whom we have charged with regard to these charges. Be careful, you, your kids, and your wife, as you are moving around. And eventually, that is what I was doing to him. And if you look into Section 205 of the Constitution, it says the SAPS is responsible to prevent, combat, and investigate crime. One of the things there. The others is the issue of the security of the country and so forth. That line. And then when you look into the strategies of the police, we are required to do proactive policing sometimes to prevent possible crimes that might happen because of this character of this person. So I was just proactively warning him, be careful.
We will return to this, but for now...
I know you will return. I just want to clarify.
Sure, I have a clarification as well, but go first.
Okay. So I just want to understand, I think earlier on you spoke about you generally discussed current affairs. So I just want to understand which parts are current affairs and which parts are proactive policing.
Look, this was also a current affairs on the media. However, this one had an additional thing that I was trying to warn him about, a person of this character that we have addressed in relation to kidnapping of ransom. It was on the news. We did share. It's also part and parcel of current affairs, commissioners. However, to a further extent, I was just highlighting this, that be careful. It's like if I know where the commissioner is staying, there is a character, and then we are close, we are friends, I will warn, hey, look at this complex of yours. They are jamming the cars this way. Be careful when you go there. When you lock the car, make sure you test the car is locked before you go into that. That is the ideal. That is what is happening here.
Thank you. Yes, Ms. Cass.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Yes, so this is what you do, is you warn people. I mean, I think the example you just gave to Commissioner Beloy is also different. You might say, be careful because this type of crime is happening in your area. But what you did here was you gave Mr. Matlala details of the alleged crimes and what Mr. Nangi was being investigated for.
No.
Isn't that so?
No. You see, when you look at that document that you gave us, commissioners, I saw an affidavit of Nangi and the address. He was the subject of investigation, and he is still. the head office has taken over that investigation of the kidnapping. Now, what is happening is that when I picked up that, I just sent it to him, and these people, I believe that somebody might have put this thing on the public domain, because you'll see there was also High Court papers that they wanted to sue the police and everything are there. So it's not the things that are within my office or whatever. It's things that were there in the public domain. I just sent the thing there.
So, but you say it was to warn him because
Yes.
this individual had been arrested for very serious.
And he was out by then, yes.
And yes, by now he's out. But when you only forwarded this to him on the 10th of March,
Yeah.
after he was released.
He was released.
But when was he, but you knew about this before the 10th of
Which
March? This particular individual and the investigation into this individual
I knew.
and the arrest of this individual.
I knew about the arrest. I knew about the case when it was withdrawn in court in January. But, the address of him, I was not aware of his address. I picked it up when I was reading that article. Then I said, by the way, then I sent it.
And that's when you then sent the information to Mr. Matlala
Because it was there.
Here's the affidavit.
Yeah, it was there on the public domain. That's why I sent it. I must tell the commissioners that I will never take information of the police that is in custody of the police and share it with any other person. I will never do that. It is not correct to do that, and I will never do that. When I took office, I signed an oath. I will never do that. When I joined the police, I signed an oath. I will never do that. I've never done it. It's not going to happen, and it will never happen up until, even if I die, I'm able to do it in the grave. It will never happen.
But you did share this with Mr.
This
Matlala.
one, I shared it because it
Because
was
it was
in
already-
the public domain.
Because there was a media article already.
Yes, thank you. It was there
okay.
on the media.
Okay.
Yes.
No, I understand. So we will come back to this. I just want to make sure we get your...
No, I provided
Sorry,
you answers.
Can we just clarify what was shared exactly? Was it the newspaper article or the affidavit attached? I'm just not clear what General shared with Mr. Matlala. If you can just clarify that.
Commissioner, that document was a bit big. I sent it through it is a newspaper. I think is an article that was there. I think these people presented it somewhere, and then it was leaked into the media. When you open it, you'll see an affidavit and everything. I just send it just to sensitize this one. And further to that, there is another one to show that it is them who leaked this thing on the news. The other person who was arrested with them, he went and he was interviewed in Mpumalanga through a local, radio station there, and his statement, he also published it there, one of the accused persons on this thing. So these things, they were published by them there. I just forwarded it. I didn't take it for, when you look also at the case number that is depicted there, there is a date stamp of the police, there is a case number that is depicted there. And then when I look at the date stamp, it talks about Bedford View, something like that. So you saw that. Now, if you saw that, it's good. Bedford View is where? There's no Bedford View in KwaZulu Natal. Bedford View is here in Gauteng. This General Senona does not have access in those cases in order for him to leak information as it is alleged here. I do not have access. My profile on the access of the cases is limited to KwaZulu Natal.
The annexure, Commissioner Khumalo, is in Exhibit Bundle File 1 at page 65, and it's about 220 pages long.
And also, I believe that if you look at that document, there were people like General Mkwanazi, let me rather not mention a lot of names. There were police officials there, I think 5 of them, if not 4, who are listed in the High Court applications, and all those things were attached there. So someone, somewhere, somehow might have leaked this thing that we came into to see, and then I did send that thing. I must tell you that there is a High Court applications against the police by these individuals. There is a civil case that is underway as we speak here. And then I'm just worried, commissioners, that I don't want to elaborate too much on these things. But I am not listed on the issue of the civil claim of these things. Other people are listed there. Thank you, commissioners.
We will return to this, but is there anything else you want to say about, from your perspective, about this particular incident, this investigation?
Which investigation? Against
this individual, your paragraph 74 and 75.
I said head office, DPCI, took over the investigation. It was in March. They took the entire case dockets and everything. Okay. So they are continuing with the investigation with an understanding that they want to place it back on the court roll because it was withdrawn due to certain technicalities.
You don't wish to expand on that?
Please.
This was an investigation that was under your command, isn't that so?
As the provincial head, yes.
Okay.
And you know the organigram of the Hawks at the province is a general. General does not necessarily read dockets. It's a strategic position, if I may say so. But it is. And then you have brigadiers. I have 5 brigadiers under me, and then 1 colonel. 1 brigadier deals with serious organized crime, another 1 serious commercial, another 1 serious corruption, another 1 priority crime specialized investigation, and then another 1 is corporate support services, and then a colonel who's dealing with priority crime management center. So these people, they are responsible to deal with operations at the unit level where we have colonels who are leading the units. And under the colonels, you have lieutenant colonels who are team leaders who are supposed to give instructions and give guidance into this docket. So, Mena, I sit at a strategic position. Thank you, commissioners.
This was an operation under your command, yes?
It was, the investigations was within my office, but component, serious organized crime.
Yes, but it's under your, you've already said that. So we'll come back to it. I just wanted to give you an opportunity yourself if you wish to say something more. You can continue.
Question 8. Message is to Mr. Matlala, dated 24 April 2025, Re Khumalo. This conversation between Lieutenant General Khumalo and I took place as I was facilitating a meeting between him and a third party concerning matters under his division. Lieutenant General Khumalo can attest to this if he's called to come here. So the screenshot was erroneously or sent to the third party as evidence to facilitating the meeting. It was intended to be sent to the third party because the third party was concerned that when am I taking him or her to that office in order to lodge his complaint. Now, this screenshot was erroneously sent to Matlala, and I proceeded to call him at 10:30 after I sent this to say, Mr. Matlala, that thing was sent to you by mistake. So please don't entertain or consider it. I did that. But here, this is a critical information that this third party was supposed to give to Lieutenant General Khumalo, and it involves his office. So it is not within my area of responsibility. So I took this person, this third party there, and the third party was interviewed by General Khumalo, and then I left it. I left it there. I never even inquired about any progress because it was within his space of responsibility. The next one is question 9, contact details of Mr. Cele, 14 May 2025. Yeah, indeed, Mr. Matala requested me the telephone number of the former minister, General Cele. It is a common practice that he was having the contact details of General Cele. He told me, I don't know what happened to my phone, I don't have this number. Innocently, I sent it. I didn't even ask questions because I knew they were talking. I knew he was talking to the minister. So I sent it, and then I didn't see anything wrong in that, and I didn't ask why, what are the reasons you are looking for these contact details. I think now I want to go to question 10, the Potchefstroom drug theft. Commissioners, on the 22 of June 2021, a captain from Crime Intelligence, Border Security, contacted our offices in Durban regarding a drug-related information. The information related to the alleged transshipment of suspected cocaine with a container at the Isipingo depot. Isipingo is not far from the harbor. It's just a short distance. Information was often exigency nature, and members of my office together with ORS is that the border policing that are posted there at the harbor. They proceeded to the depot to inspect the container. Warehouse security and staff were also present for the inspections. Upon inspections, the team discovered 27 canvas bags were found within the container. Each bag contained around 20 bricks of cocaine, each brick weighing 1 kilogram. The bricks of cocaine were wrapped in a black and yellow plastic detonating the TikTok and Jaqua logos. The total mass of the bricks amounted to 541 kilograms and a street value of 200 million. The BCI members proceeded to Ispingo police station to book and store the exhibits of cocaine. They were informed that there was no storage space for the housing of these exhibits. DPCI would have to search the alternative storage space. However, the exhibits could be booked into the SAP 13 register at Isipingo, SAPS, and they signed them off because the SAP 13 clerk didn't want to take them as a result of the storage. In the search of the storage, the team responsible for the seize of the trucks, they contacted the Amanzi Mtoti Forensic Service Laboratory. In bracket, I put the meta post seize fell under the Detective and Division Forensic Service Division. So Colonel Kuzwayo from the section head of chemistry at the forensic laboratory refused to accept the exhibits as they had no storage space for them. One of the reasons that she gave is that place was flooded previously, and then they said they don't have a storage facility to store these drugs. Normally, these drugs will be stored at the forensic science laboratory. Then I was advised by a brigadier in my office who is responsible for this type of investigations that there was a secure storage facility at our offices in Potchefstroom offices with a strong room walk-in safe. Safes such as this are difficult to break into and are ideal for the storage of this type of seizures if we have this kind of challenges. I then recalled that the Potchefstroom offices had previously and safely stored a large quantity of mandrax and hashish compressed dagga. I have attached an article on the mandrax bust as Annexure S6. Due to the above, I agreed that the exhibits to be stored at the Potchefstroom offices, and then I have informed my supervisor at that stage, Lieutenant General Lesetja, about the incident and the storage. Lieutenant Colonel Preslow, the unit commander of that office, the acting actually, arranged for the exhibit to be stored in the strong room, walk-in safe, aside from the unit commander. Only Captain Leroux and Warrant Officer Van Lockenbeck and another one, Warrant Officer Pinar from that office, knew about the nature of the exhibits stored there. I want to go back to, or maybe when I finish at the end, I will talk to that S6. If you look at the S6 commissioners, you see there are people on that picture. I do not want to call their names. Please allow me. And then if you zoom that picture, there at the back, you see who's there. This drug bust took place in, I think it's July 2018. And the value of this drug bust was 254 million. 54 million over the one that was stolen there at our offices. These drugs were stored in this place. This place is the same place where this 541 kg was stolen into. This is the storage facility. When you look at this faces, people that are depicted in this picture is senior management. And it happened before my time. But I don't want to talk about the names of the people on the picture, but where they are, where this picture is being taken, is exactly the place where these drugs were stolen. I just want to bring that under the attention of the commissioners. Because it is not the first time these drugs are stored there until the investigation is finalized. You know, it's a pity I couldn't find another one for the hashish compressed dach that was also placed here until the investigation was finalized. So, allow me to proceed. I wanted to talk about this. Maybe offline, I'll be able to tell you who is who in this picture. The names, maybe you will know. But
General, are you emphasizing this to tell us that that previous event or storage gave you a sense of comfort that there would be nothing the matter, even if you were again to store there?
100%, Commissioner.
Thank you.
General, sorry, the date you wanted to emphasize, if you go to page 102, because the photo is on 101,
yeah,
and then at the top of 102.
Yeah.
I thought the point you wanted to make was this was before your time, and that date is the date that we see in line 3 on page 102. Line 3 on page 102. Do you see the top of the page?
Yeah, there's one name that is short here.
And then there's a date there. I thought you wanted to emphasize the date and to say this was before your time.
It was before my time. I indicated it was July 2018.
Yes.
Yes, Commissioner. So these names that are appearing there, there's one name short. I'm not. Please allow me not to mention it. But you can see, if you look deeper there at the back on the picture.
Sorry, Major General, why don't you want to mention the name? This is a media article, it's available on the news,
but
so I'm just
the
interested
media
to know what
article,
your...
Commissioners, does not talk about this other name that I don't want to mention. But if I'm compelled, I believe also I'll be protected if I'm going to mention that name, because the Commission, we must assist the Commission, and the Commission must also be able to protect us.
You are not suggesting that there was anything improper about this, are you? I mean, this was the storage of drugs, and the picture concerned the fact that drugs had been found, and the people depicted there were there because of the drug bust. Is that not so? Nothing improper about it. So I guess Ms. Hassim's point is, what's your problem with mentioning the names, or what's your issue?
Okay, if If I'm requested to mention names, if the commissioners are saying so, I will gladly do so.
It's more wanting to understand why you do not want to mention them, especially if you accept that the context of just sketched is correct. Do you accept that the context is correct?
It's correct, commissioners.
Then
Allow me to mention names.
all right, thank you.
The people on the picture, 101, you'll see on your far right is General Sitole, the then National Commissioner of Police. Next to General Sitole is the Minister of Police, General Tele. Next to General Tele is the Provincial Commissioner of KwaZulu Natala, Lieutenant General Kwanas. Next to him is Lieutenant General Lesetja, the retired head of the Hawks. This one who's putting a mask over him, I can't determine who is this person.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I mean, this is a good news story, isn't it?
Of course,
Okay, thanks.
of course. Commissioners, access to the floors where the walking safe was situated was granted only to cleaners, administrative personnel and members of the DPCI working at the offices. All the safe keys were given to me with the main key. Look, those type of safes, they have a key and a spare key. For the purpose of safety, I took it upon myself to take these keys. I am having a safe at my office that not one person will be able to remove it on his or her own, and then I kept those keys locked under that safe. And I also, during that person, I also informed DPCI personnel when I took up office, and also on that day. When I took up office, you will visit all the offices, commissioners. And when you visit all the offices, you will also give your vision. What is it that you want to see, and what is it that people must do? Among others, I verbally gave this tasking that offices must be visited between 1800 hours and 12 o'clock midnight. And then another person must visit 2 o'clock in the morning until between 2 and 4. Our members, they will be placed on standby. We signed a garaging authority to take the state vehicles to their premises. This is the practice that I was doing while I was the unit commander here in Pretoria, so that if there is anything that threatens the safety of our offices and the dockets that we are carrying and so forth, we need to detect it at an early stage. We can't say it will never happen, but we need to detect it at an early stage. And then after doing that visit, an OB entry to that effect, it needs to be done, must be done. On the 23rd of June, between 800 hours and 1500 hours, as well as 24th of June 2021, between 08:57 and 14:10, the investigating officer who was assigned to investigate this drug bust came to my office, and he signed for one key and then of the safe where the drugs were stolen. The proof of the aforesaid is attached here to and marked annexure S7. So the purpose of me keeping the case, I've already explained.
Sorry, before you go to that, you said he took out one key, but in your statement you say booked out the safe keys.
Is a typing error.
So that's incorrect. You want to change that
Is a typing error.
So you would like to change that
Key, because the other one was left with me.
Okay.
So they were going there to take some samples, because during the bust, the forensic science laboratory told us, and I know it's a fact, they don't go out to this drug bust. They come out if there is a clandestine laboratory where the lab is active. Whether a person is arrested or not, they come themselves there, they process the crime scene, they wear their regalia there, they will take samples. But with this one, they didn't. They say, we're not coming you must bring the, the samples to us for analysis. The purpose of the IO to get the case, it was to go there and get those samples and ensure that these things are properly sealed in the seal bags and everything, because I think when they went to store these things, it was late in the afternoon. So I want to talk to the theft, the actual theft. After hours on the Sunday, 7 November, at about 10 o'clock, we have a captain there who visited the office and is working there to collect some documents. And then he said he noticed a strange electric smell as if within the building. He proceeded to check the top offices, according to him. And he found everything to be in order.
What does electricity smell like?
Smell like electric smell. You see, when the cables are coming into negative and positive, they meet. They will cause a fire, some sort of spark, a fire, and then that kind of a smell. That's my understanding, Commissioner.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. So, and then he left, and then he said he thought the smell was as a result of a load shedding that was there. And then around 11, he left. 1400 hours, another member came, and he did not smell anything according to him. He proceeded to the office, and then without checking the bottom section, and then he left. On Monday, the 8th of November 2021, at 0600 hours, the unit commander arrived, and he went into his offices. His offices is on the top, these safes are on the bottom. So when you go to his office, you don't need, there's no way from there to go to his office. You go from outside, and then he will enter from that side. There are stairs that are going higher up. And then he said he found this strange, as all offices' lights are to be switched off, and then that time the lights were on. And then he said on the same date, there was a warrant officer whose office was broken into, and then he established that his office has been broken into. And the warrant officer reported this to the Lieutenant Colonel, who was the acting unit commander. Lieutenant Colonel proceeded to inspect all the offices within the building and found that the Hawkins safe has been broken into. Not only had it been broken into, but the seized cocaine stored therein was stolen. The theft was reported to me, and I in turn reported it to the national head of the directorate, as well as the provincial commissioner and the provincial head of crime intelligence. Then immediately I proceeded to the crime scene, commissioners. Upon my arrival, I observed that the perpetrators gained entry into the offices by means of a hardware next door.
Hardware store?
Hardware store. Our offices next door. It was a hardware store. There's changed now. It's offices of another department. But this side, it was a hardware store. It was closed and everything. So I paused.
The hardware store had an entrance into your office?
No.
How you say they gained entry into the offices?
I'm about to explain that.
By means of a hardware store next door.
Through the hardware store, if I can rephrase that, by means through the hardware store. I want to now explain my observations in full. Maybe if I may be allowed to do that, then I can respond to clarity-seeking questions. Commissioners, upon my arrival, this is my observation. I'm going to outline it in full, although some of the things you won't see them here. When I arrived, I realized that when you're parking in front of the office, the hardware is on your left. The chain and the lock of the hardware was broken. And then after that, we realized that the perpetrators.
What chain is this?
Is a chain that they utilize to
lock the door.
Lock the gate.
Gate,
yeah,
not
the
door.
main gate.
All right.
Yeah, it's a thick, chain that was cut open as well as the lock. Then, from my observation, I could see that the perpetrators of this crime they went there, inside the hardware. From the hardware, from the gate is about maybe 50, 60 meters. I don't have the exact meters. And then
to the actual building.
Inside the hardware yard. And then there's a fence, a wall and a fence. And then they jumped through that fence. You see, the fence is like here, and then our offices are here, the hardware is this side. So if they came inside here, they jumped over here and break a window here.
Is the window, is that the storage facilities window?
No.
Hardware window?
Is our office's window, office that is occupied by one of our warrant officers.
Okay. All right.
And in that office there was a desktop and some other valuables of his and the police staff and cases. They broke that window, and then if my memory serves me well, I think they were butlers. They bent them, and they came into his office. In his office, door was locked. Then they broke the office door. When you go out of the office door, just 2-3 steps on your left, there's a door. And that door is a passage if you go inside there, where there is this, I think it's 2 strong rooms, these safes. We normally call them strong rooms. And that type of a strong room, the thickness of the door is about 20 milliliter. 20 milliliter, like this.
Millimeters.
Millimeter. Thank you, Commissioner. The thickness is like this. It's very thick. So I have observed and established that here, the people who came here have a specialized skills. They specialized in cutting open the safes, because if we talk about the issue of the load shedding and everything, they had ample time. And
please hold your thought. You are at the point where you are talking about the people being specialized. I just want to take you back 2 or 3 steps. What would have necessitated going through the premises of the hardware store? Why would the people not have just gone through your own offices in Port Shepstone?
Commissioner, I don't know why have they decided to come this side, but later we established that there was at the front door on the ground, there was some sort of a friggling. That door is a magnetic door, and then I think it also have a lock where you must also use a key to open it. So we established that there was a friddle. It was a bit friddled, but they decided not to cut it open and everything. Instead,
I guess what I'm trying to understand, I know perhaps it changes nothing. What I want to understand is why not go over your wall and then to Officer Pinar's window or wherever else to gain access? Why the hardware premises?
I believe they wanted to, because after they broke that gate, the chain of the gate,
yes,
they pushed it. It was pushed almost half open. Just a smaller space was left, and it is a street here.
Okay.
It's a street here. If you break here in front, any person who will pass there will be able to pick you up. That something is not right here. So if you go inside there, I'm afraid to use these words, they wanted to also be not to be seen quickly.
Okay. Please go back to where you were. These people had highly specialized skills.
Yeah, yes. Because it's not an ordinary person who will come and know that I'm cutting this safe here and then I will be able to open it. That's my observation. And further to that, the way this thing happened, I also came to a conclusion that it was not 2 or 3 people, it's a group of people. Because 541 kilograms of cocaine, 5 people will never take everything and go away. And they must have a proper transport to transport these things. And then I believe they might have also have people who were guards. And from there, after they broke, they opened, they threw those things. When I approached the passage of the safe, there were a lot of black powdery substance on the floor, a lot of that. And then you could see that the bags, the exhibit police bags that these drugs were packed into, some of them we saw, I think, 2 or 3 from that window where they came in, which shows that these people, not one person came in, it's several of them who came in through that window, because any other place was never broken into. They took these drugs and exited where they've entered. Then when I observed with my naked eye, I couldn't see any footprints or palm prints on the entrance where it was broken. So, commissioners, one cannot do away with the fact that these people who came to steal these drugs, my heart is still bleeding. Now it's bleeding, it's pumping. My adrenaline is starting to change because this thing happened under my watch and it will never be erased in my mind. It is an indictment on its own. So, what happened there, someone who knows that place and who knew these things were there sold us out. And then it is my plea and prayer that the investigation team be successful to arrest this perpetrator so that they can come and tell us who gave them the information and how and why did they do this, what happened to these drugs. As I'm processing the crime scene, the crime scene management came from the province to come and process the crime scene. They process, they obtain a photograph, and they do fingerprints and everything. Then I said, we are the complainants, commissioners. We can't be complainants and investigate. That the district in that area, must assist us with an investigator. We will assist to try and get things. I tasked my people to look into the cameras around the vicinity and everything, and to start to do those things. And then I brought sometimes there are certain strategies I wouldn't want to make them public. Some people in our country will know, oh, this is what they are doing, then they will avert. So I don't know if I'm worried to just expose our strategies. Please bear with me. I will just be vague, but if needed be, I will come and explain properly. So we did everything there. There's something called cell phone dumping. I'm not going to explain it. We did that. I brought the people, and then I took my people to go there. We have people that are dealing with this thing of footages. I'm just worried to use the exact name that we talk about when we talk about these things. But while we were busy with that, what I did, I wrote a letter. I think my letter is, let's check, that's what? Yeah, it will be S9 and S10. A docket was opened, it was investigated by the district office, and then I gave a team to assist with the investigation. While we were busy with that, I wrote a letter in compliance with the provision of the Act to subject all the personnel at the Potchefstroom offices to polygraph tests, as well as all the people who were involved in the seizing of these drugs, as well as those who assisted, because you can't just transport cocaine with only 3 people. You must have a contingent of people, because what if you are attacked? Because it happened a lot that I pay from my office after these other seizures that I talked about earlier, pay from my office to get the combat teams to transport the drugs to Pretoria. Now, while I was doing that, the national head of the directorate, he approved the subjection of these members to polygraph test. Maybe one might say, why is your name not there? I can't do it, Commissioner.
I actually wanted to ask why did you not offer to also be subjected to the polygraph test?
The Act doesn't say I must offer. It must be the national head who, my supervisor, must subject me to that. It is not a common cause to subject yourself.
But point of the matter is, you wanted all the people that were aware of the storage of the drugs to be subjected to a polygraph test.
Yes,
you did not need to have the head to subject you to it, so you could have offered for that to be done for transparency, so that these officers know that he himself has also subjected himself to it. Why did you not do it?
I hear you, Commissioner. It never crossed my mind that I must also include myself. In my mind is that if I have to do that, my boss will do it, will instruct me, because even myself, I don't have the authority to do that. I apply, he approves according to the Act. So,
thank you, please continue.
Thank you, Commissioner. Even if when you see my SC10 is, I think, an additional letter of some people that were supposed to go through that, what you call polygraph test in relation to that. And you will see there was a, okay, I see a thing. And then when you look at S11, a team was established by national office. There is a name list there of the team that was established. One member was from my office who was placed there. But what I saw at the later stage, the member was no more working with the team. The reasons why, I don't know, because I thought he was working with the team. This team came up, it was established, the names were sent to me to show that if you want to, I want to talk about, allow me to read it. Sorry, Commissioners.
This team, is this, are you referring to 114 of your statement?
124, page 124 on my bundle of documents.
And 114 of your, okay, it's the same team.
Yeah, so you will realize that this team in paragraph 6 of bundle of documents 125, page 125, paragraph 6, it says the members will be required to report, this is an instruction, Commissioners, directly to the component head, serious organized crime investigation. There is a name there, on the 1st of December, until the investigation is finalized. The team will draft a detailed investigation plan with timelines which will determine the required time for handling this case. There will be weekly progress meeting to be chaired by the Deputy National Head of the DPCI to monitor the investigations. You'll see also on the name list, also on this paragraph, General Senona was excluded from participating in this investigation. But I want to bring under your attention that in my mind that it never worried me. If they want to start their approach of the investigation, they want to start inwards, outward, because there is that type of methodology. It is okay. It never worried me. Why am I excluded? It was okay. So on the, I think it was, we were here in Pretoria at the Capital Hotel, where I met, I think it's in January, I met with the team, or before January, I think. I want to check the date properly. I briefed on the 29th of November. I briefed the established team and handed over everything that was in my possession. So, Commissioners, I want to also add that the results of the polygraph test that I have requested and was approved by the national head, I have never received any results. And since the docket was taken, they took the case docket and investigated it. No reports or no any other thing was provided. I can't even tell what is the current status of the investigation, but this team will be able to say what have they found out, what is what and what is what. So eventually, I want to say
Sorry,
the
General,
inquiry.
just so that your testimony is consistent with your statement, I believe you were in 116 on page 31.
116, yes, that is the...
But the name of the hotel you gave and the year were different. So can you just confirm that?
It's 2021,
Yes,
Commissioner.
and it was Menlyn Main Hotel and not the one you mentioned in your testimony.
What have I said, Commissioner?
Capital Hotel?
The hotel here is
Yeah.
Capital Hotel.
Which one?
It's in mainland Maine,
Yes.
Capital Hotel. Maybe
That's the name of the hotel.
Yeah, I omitted to say Capital Hotel.
Okay.
We were having a interactions with the foreign law enforcement there.
And the year we have it correct is 2021.
2021. Commissioner. Thank you very much for the assistance. And the inquiry reference number, the inquiry reference number that of the Caesar, they also took it, this team that was established by National Office. So in relation to the investigation and progress thereof, I do not have anything to say further because I was not privy to those briefings and nobody briefed me. Commissioners, in conclusion, I want to say...
Sorry, General, before you go to your topic of conclusion, just so that it's not lost on me, the import of this evidence about the drug bust and the exhibits being lost, you've discussed it in quite detail in your statement. It's nearly 10 pages, and noticeably, it is the longest discussion you have in your statement, in your written statement, compared to the other topics.
Yes.
Why are you telling us this? Is it of what relevance, and what do you want us to keep in mind as you testify, if anything, as you testify and as we hear other witnesses? Because it's not obvious to me. I ask precisely because it's not obvious to me why you're telling us about
the theft.
About the drug bust and the theft, yes.
Commissioners, in the subpoena, this topic was there. That is why I'm responding. I'm telling the commissioners about these things. I don't know what is the relevance of this, but on the subpoena, it was listed there.
You've answered me. Thank you, General.
Yes.
You don't need to say more. Thank you.
I also want to say that the issue of the storage there, bring under your attention that in relation to the storage there, I think there is a national instruction that says the DPCI, with the approval of the head, can store these things, can store the exhibits at a facility that is South African SANS, I think it's SANS, South African National Standards. When you look at the safe, it comprises of those standards, those requirements. It's a strong room. Even the walls, it's going to take you too long, a person too long, to break those walls and get into that. And what one has done, commissioners, it was done bona fide. In my conclusion, I want to...
Sorry, I didn't hear that. It was done on a?
Bona fide. In good faith.
Understood.
Thank you. I want to say it is of vital importance that we revert to the Rule 3, as the Commission will note that I have not leaked sensitive or confidential or classified information of ACPS to Mr. Matala. You go back to that letter that it was a bone of contention this morning commissioners, when you look at it, although it was a bone of contention, but it is not a classified document. Classification of documents is governed by the missed document. The missed document says when you classify a document, the classifications of documents is confidential / restricted. The second one, it will be secret. It shall be written on top and at the bottom. The third one, it will be top secret. But these other things that I'm accused of, that I have leaked sensitive and classified documents to Mr. Matlala, it is not. The things that I've shared with Mr. Matlala, they were in a public domain. There was nothing that I took from my office and gave it to Mr. Matlala to assist him. Most of the documents that seemed confidential were in fact sent by Mr. Matlala, according to what I've read here. The allegations are false and are devoid of merit. They are merely speculative in nature, commissioners. Lieutenant General Khumalo and Witness X were hard-pressed to provide evidence that proves such a leakage of information before this commission. Had the above figures conducted their investigation diligently, they would have found that the affidavits by Mr. Nangi had already been leaked in the media. It is a common cause amongst myself and multiple witnesses at the commission that the disbandment letter was leaked to the public on the 1st of January. Utilization of my office, using my position as a provincial head to unduly benefit Mr. Matlala or the Big Five, I never used my position or influence to secure any commercial opportunities for my son through Mr. Matlala. Abuse of power or position as the provincial head of the DPCI to influence benefit of Mr. Matlala or the Big Five, shown an interest and questionable concern in protecting Matlala. Of importance to note is that there is no evidence before the Commission to suggest otherwise. The baseless allegations by Witness X, Lieutenant General Khumalo, have caused a significant reputational harm on myself. They have further disrupted command cohesion and introduced unnecessary tensions within the DPCI KZN ranks. They have further caused an equal measure of harm to my son, as the allegations have caused him a significant loss of income. Currently, commissioners, he is running a scholarship business. And then you sign contract with people, then they come and extend the contract. Some, they just come in a year. He lost a lot of kids. So now there is a problem of him paying his buses, the loans, the high purchase thing. So, commissioners.
You said scholarship, and I hear you talk about buses.
It's Kumbi.
Did you mean scholar transport?
Yes, he's there now currently. Okay. Because what they do, if this is not working, bringing any income, they venture into a lot of things. So, commissioners, I think we need to be protected before I conclude. I have been summoned at the head office by my current supervisor. I was provided with a notice of alleged misconduct because of the testimony by Witness X here and Witness C. And further to that, I was provided with a notice of temporary transfer. And this thing happened Friday, this past Friday, commissioners. And that is a problem. We can't be intimidated when we are supposed to come and give evidence here, because this is it is a modus operandi, because it disorientates your mind in order to be testifying here and be to your sound and sober senses. You'll realize that although some of the witnesses never testified here, they testified at the ad hoc committee. They were visited just a week or few days before they were testifying. It is my humble prayers to you, commissioners. We are your witnesses. Although there are allegations against us, we need to be protected here. And then I am of the view that why they never left this thing for me to testify, they can even wait for you to make a determination and deal with me. Or come and give me these things after I have testified. It is something that raised serious concerns to me, commissioners. Now I must respond this Friday. Why must I not be transferred? And in my considered view, I don't know why must I be transferred. But I have to go and I have to write a representation. So I believe that one is being treated unfair. So I wanted to bring this to your good self, commissioners. And it is not good. It is seriously not good. It's affecting one's health, or seriously so. And it is also affecting the relations in my own home and my family at large. It is a serious problem. I need to be allowed to come here and testify. If there is any wrongdoing that is found on myself, I must go and answer, must be dealt with. But I must not be intimidated before I come and testify before this commission. Because it's very disturbing. It is very disturbing, commissioners. And I also, in conclusion, want to say, I want to thank your good selves for giving me the opportunity to come here and give you my side of the story and my side of the knowledge that I'm having with these allegations and everything. And these allegations are frivolous and baseless. Commissioners, I thank you.
Thank you, General, but we are not done. As you are probably aware, what is to come next is, I don't know what adjective has been used, but the more probing questioning. So that will start after lunch. Thank you. Let us see you after lunch. Let's adjourn until 2 p.m.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.